Hello everyone, this is Lucky Manhwa. Before watching the video, please take 3 seconds to like the video and subscribe to the channel so I have more motivation to create higher quality videos. Thank you very much, and I wish you a happy new day. At Lang Teobao Palace, Van Mien transformed into a canary and descended to the mortal realm. Thinking to herself as a fairy promoting childbirth in the celestial realm, Van Mien's descent this time is to complete a mission to encourage childbirth. I heard it's as difficult as going to hell. If successful, the efficiency of the matchmaker is even lower than mine, then the matchmaker would have to bow down and pay respect to the great master. She chuckled proudly, then Van Mien flew away. This time the person is the emperor with the 3,000 concubines. This is basically a test with bonus points. How could it be difficult? Yet it became as difficult as going to hell. Van Mien transformed into a canary perched on a branch looking down at the lake, even saying that this man is incredibly handsome. It's very hard to win them over because they are all captivated by his looks, so everyone has failed. Van Mien flapped her wings noisily on the branch. What nonsense! I am a fairy promoting childbirth with many years of enlightenment, the top of the celestial palace. Big waves and storms. Never seen anything like that. What perfect handsome man haven't I met before? He's just a mortal emperor who can't possibly charm me. Suddenly she was startled. Emperor Fengqiu was soaking in the water. His body is robust. Van Mien sniffled. It's no use, I'm not interested in men. Suddenly Fengqiu looked over in surprise. Van Mien was stunned. Danger, she had been discovered, so she quickly flew away. Not good, better run fast, but she hit a big tree trunk and fell straight into the water right in front of Fengqiu. Fengqiu came and picked Van Mien up. Van Mien was dazed and choking on water. He curiously asked where the canary was hiding. How dare you spy on me while I'm bathing? Van Mien could only chirp painfully. Let me go, you tyrant. Then Fengqiu put on his robe and headed to shore. Where is everyone? Van Mien covered her face, thinking this emperor isn't wearing any underwear. A eunuch approached his majesty to give a message. Fengqiu threw the bird to the eunuch while it was still chirping. I guess this canary is insulting me. Cook it later. I want to eat canary stir-fried with soy sauce. The eunuch caught the bird, confused. Yes, your majesty. Van Mien was shocked and chirped. That damn emperor dares to fantasize about eating me, the fairy. I'll remember your face. Suddenly there was the sound of a door opening. His Majesty Fengqiu turned around in surprise. A group of beauties appeared. Your Majesty, you finally came out of the bath. Your servant has been waiting for a long time. Your Majesty, tonight your servant can serve you. Van Mien froze when she saw this. So many ladies, all beautiful. Tell me what man could remain calm with this in front of him. It's done, it's done. This emperor surely can't wait any longer. This mission is way too easy. But Fengqiu immediately waved his hand and shouted, "Get out! Who allowed you in here?" He was angry. Van Mien was stunned crazy. In this situation, and you still don't take your spear to the battlefield. Is he even a man? Fengqiu said sternly. Without my permission, no one is allowed to enter here again. Now get out immediately. The little ladies trembled and said, "Yes, your majesty." The eunuch also released Van Mien. The bird kept chirping continuously. How could I miss such a good opportunity? Watch my divine method to promote childbirth. Van Mien unleashed the 36 moves of love enchantment. Once hit by this, even immortals find it hard to escape. The animalistic nature of this emperor will definitely break out. The divine power rushed at Fengqiu but suddenly was shot back. Van Mien was stunned. What is going on? The jade pendant on the emperor's body can actually reflect my magic back. Van Mien was hit back and suddenly fell flat on the ground. I've been hit all the way back to my true form. Fengqiu heard the noise earlier and thought he saw the silhouette of a girl. Could it be that I was mistaken? Van Mien transformed back into a canary panting. Luckily, at the crucial moment, I transformed back, otherwise I would have been exposed. Suddenly, Van Mien was picked up again. Fengqiu grabbed the canary by the neck. I command you to watch out for this canary bird. How can you watch out properly if you let it fly all over the place? Van Mien was told not to keep releasing this fairy. The eunuch knelt down. I deserve to die. I was careless just this once. Then Fengqiu turned away. Enough, all of you, get out of my way. He shot a dangerous glance. Hearing that, the servants hurried to run off. Yes, your majesty, I'll go right away. In the bedchamber, Van Mien was thrown roughly to the ground. She angrily cursed this rotten emperor. Not only did he carry her around, he also threw her. Fengqiu squeezed the chubby bird's fingers. Stir-fried, it must be delicious. Van Mien panicked and chirped, saying, "Despot, you're doomed. If it weren't for completing the mission, this fairy would definitely teach you how to be human." Fengqiu bent down and tapped the canary's forehead with his finger. What are you yelling about? Are you scolding me again? Yes. Van Mien was confused. Doesn't that dog emperor understand bird language? He always guesses right. Feng Qiu said, I have to approve the memorials. Don't bother me or I'll really stir-fry you. Wen Min thought to herself, this emperor is really difficult to deal with. Magic doesn't work either, furthermore. No beauties to find late at night, just work. She couldn't hold back and chirped, meaning, don't read the memorials anymore. Isn't the beauty not pretty? Feng Qiu then asked the little bird. Are you really not afraid of dying? Wen Min climbed onto his hand again, meaning, it's for your own good. If the emperor doesn't share love equally, he's just a scoundrel. Feng Qiu wondered, since those concubines came in, you've been extremely agitated. You want me to consort with them? Wen Min nodded, meaning smart idea. My emperor truly understands bird language. Feng Qiu thought never expected this canary to understand human nature so well. Interesting, I could keep it. He stood up and said, Consort, I doubt you'll ever see that in your lifetime. Wen Min was surprised. Why not? Feng Qiu then took off his clothes. Because I'm powerless. Looking at his pants, he was as silent as a mouse. Wen Min froze. What? How can you be powerless? Then it climbed onto his shoulder, meaning, is this for real? As a man, how can you admit to being powerless? Where's your dignity? Feng Qiu Ten brushed Wen Min off. All right, you stay there. I have to sleep. Wen Min rolled on the floor. Oh no, it's true. The emperor is powerless. How can I complete this mission? Then Wen Min flew away. All right, I'm quitting. This mission is too hard. This fairy gives up and silently endured the teasing of the matchmaker. Suddenly, a dazzling light appeared. Oh, such a bright light. The pregnant goddess appeared. Wen Min took form. She bowed. Wen Min asked, pregnant goddess. The pregnant goddess smiled and said, I'm here to specially inform you that Feng Qiu's descendants will be future world dominators, so you must complete your mission. Wen Min sighed, Goddess, I dare not hide anything. This mission is truly too difficult. My magic doesn't work on this emperor. He's even powerless. Even if I knock out a concubine and bring her to the dragon bed for him, it's useless. I really can't finish this mission. Whoever agrees, go ahead. The pregnant goddess smiled. Whoever completes this mission will get a promotion, a salary raise, a good performance review, and double red envelopes at year-end. Hearing this, Wen Min's fighting spirits surged. She was definitely the only choice for this mission. The goddess trusted Wen Min completely. She laughed inwardly. Good performance review, promotion, salary raise, double red envelopes at year-end. Such rich rewards once completed, wouldn't she be at the top of the immortal path? Then the pregnant goddess left. I trust you, but Wen Min, remember, matters involving world domination must find someone with good virtue to bear the child, understand? Wen Min smiled and replied, yes, understood. I will ensure the mission is completed. Then Wen Min returned to the palace, climbing through the window to enter. For a promotion and raise, she'd risk this immortal life to complete the mission. She peeked through the curtain and saw Feng Qiu sleeping soundly on the bed. Wen Min sighed and said, so this emperor is handsome but powerless. What a pity. Wen Min looked closely and exclaimed, wow, his eyelashes are so long, his nose so high, his lips are also very beautiful. Wen Min clenched her hand, wanting to bite him badly. She leaned close to him, their lips almost touching, when Feng Qiu suddenly frowned. Wen Min blushed, startled, jumped up. No, the emperor is about to wake up. No, run quickly. Wen Min hurriedly rushed and bumped into a pillar. Feng Qiu opened his eyes in surprise, stood up and asked someone. Wen Min transformed into a canary lying on the ground, chirping pitifully. Feng Qiu propped his chin and asked, what's going on? I've already slept. So why are you still lying on the ground? Wen Min said, let me be. I want peace. Just now I actually wanted to kiss that damn emperor. Heavens. Feng Qiu suddenly noticed a flower on his blanket. Where did this peach blossom come from? Could it be that someone really came here just now? Wen Min was stunned. Oh no, I must have accidentally dropped the fan just now. Feng Qiu froze, then recalled and said so. Just now I briefly saw a girl lean over the dragon bed wanting to kiss me. Wen Min made a move and kicked a sensitive spot. Feng Qiu shouted angrily. Wen Min chirped, surprised yet. Wen Min perched on Feng Qiu's little mushroom, looking dazed. Feng Qiu poked his face and asked, do you want to die? He grabbed Wen Min tightly. Wen Min panicked. No. This fairy doesn't want to die. Let me go quickly. Feng Qiu sneered, let you go. That spot of mine was almost crushed by you. Wen Min looked regretful. I was wrong, trust me. I even care more about whether that spot of yours is healthy than you do. Feng Qiu stood up and threw Wen Min out. Starting today, you're on a diet for me. I want to see you 5 kilos lighter by tomorrow. Van Mien was thrown to the ground, dazed and surprised. Emperor, are you crazy? Have you ever seen a canary weigh more than 5 kilos? Feng Qiu replied, stop yelling and obediently stay on the dragon bed for me. I have to leave for a while. Don't dirty my dragon bed, understand? Then he left, thinking to himself he didn't see the peach blossom anymore. Could it be that he was mistaken? Was that girl also fake? Van Mien stayed in the room, annoyed, jumping wildly on the dragon bed. That damn emperor dared to tell me to lose weight and threaten me. How can my bird tolerate this, not letting me dirty the dragon bed? I'll definitely surprise you, then I'll take off. Elsewhere, Feng Qiu stood in the garden and ordered the guards. Shendong and Bodong, did any of you see anyone enter my room just now? Shendong said, Your Majesty, we didn't see anyone. Feng Qiu doubted. I see you may withdraw. Then the two disappeared. Yes, Feng Qiu walked while thinking my secret guards have great martial arts. They didn't see anyone enter. Could it be that I really was mistaken about that girl just now? He entered the room and was surprised. Where's that fat bird? Could it be under the blanket? Seeing the blanket bulge, he pulled it back and was shocked to find a pile of droppings on the bed. What is this? Feng Qiu gritted his teeth. Sure, it was that fat bird. Someone catch the canary I'm raising and tell the imperial kitchen I want to eat canary hot pot. The servants panicked and ran off. Meanwhile, Van Mien, perched on a tree branch, sneezed repeatedly. Who is scolding me? The servants noisily went to look for the canary. Where is it? Wasn't it just here? Hurry up and find it. This is a good chance to make merit. Come on, go find it fast. Van Mien perched on the branch, thinking, that damn emperor, didn't I just use magic to make those piles of fertilizer on your bed? Why make such a fuss? A slingshot shot a pebble toward Van Mien. Van Mien was stunned. Who is it? Who's sneaking up on me? Van Mien fell with a hee-hee sound. It's over. The servants grabbed Van Mien upside down. My lady has caught the canary. Tweet Phi smiled. Well done. Now I will go find your majesty to eat canary hot pot. Your majesty will surely praise me for doing a great job. Van Mien thought, canary hot pot. The damn emperor wouldn't really want to eat me, would he? Suddenly a voice said, Oh, Sister Tuyet. Nee, the canary has been found. Want to go see the emperor? Don't hesitate to take me along, okay? Uyen Phi fanned her hand. Twit Phi forced a smile and said, Uyen Phi, who said you're my sister? Of course I'm not afraid, it's just that this canary meat is too little. I'm afraid it won't be enough for 3 people. Uyen Phi replied, It's okay. Sister also brought a quail that Anvu can put in the pot to cook together. Anvu in the cage sighed irritably. Uyen Phi thought to herself, Wants to monopolize the emperor, huh? In your dreams. Tuat Phi was annoyed. Damn it, she didn't expect that girl to butt in. The two held hands, but their eyes were full of hostility. Sister thinks very carefully. Van Mien thought to herself, I didn't expect the emperor's harem to not only be as beautiful as celestial beings, but also friendly and gentle with each other. Tuat Phi angrily ordered someone to prepare a sedan chair to Long Tay Palace, insisting it must be faster than that lowly woman. Uyen Phi asked, Where is my sedan chair? Bring it here quickly, I must arrive first. The servant replied, Yes, yes. Then the loud noise of servants carrying sedan chairs approached. Van Mien was stunned. What's going on? They're exceeding the speed limit. At the entrance of Long Tay Palace, 2 servants stood guard and were shocked to see 2 sedan chairs racing each other. Hurry up, charge forward. Then at the forest gate, suddenly Tuat Phi stepped down. Duke, I brought the canary. His Majesty is coming to find it. Please inform him. Uyen Phi immediately pushed her aside. Duke, I also brought a quail to cook hot pot with His Majesty. The Duke panicked. Ladies, please wait. I'll report to the Emperor immediately. The two pushed and shoved each other. Van Mien, still hanging upside down, thought, Looking at these concubines, such beauties have become as hungry and fierce as tigers. While the quail inside was angry, this wicked woman dares to dream of eating this immortal in your dreams. Van Mien was surprised. Are you an immortal? Then she asked aloud, Anvu brother, are you from the immortal realm? Anvu replied, Oh, you can understand what I say. Looks like you're from the immortal realm too. Van Mien answered Anvu. My name is Van Mien. I'm the fairy who promotes childbirth on earth to encourage His Majesty the Emperor to have offspring. And you? Anvu replied, So you are the fairy, Van Mien. Apologies for the rudeness. I am the Star Lord in charge of fate named Tram Shuyen. Because I altered someone's fate, I was demoted to a quail. Hearing this, Van Mien thought, Tram Shuyen, Could it be the Star Lord admired by the fairies who is colder than the dead of winter? Suddenly, Tramshuin leaned on his hand. Wait, you are the foremost beautiful fairy in the immortal realm. Von Mien, right? Little Mien, come quickly into my arms. Von Mien sulked, thinking, what cold fairy? The rumors were all lies. Clearly, he's both lecherous and boastful. Tweet Fee was surprised. Are these two birds talking to each other? They keep chirping and quacking. Tweet Fee thought whatever, since they're ingredients for hot pot, it's normal they share a common language. Then Duke came out. His Majesty has ordered to keep the canary and quail here. Please, ladies, return. They were annoyed. What? Keep the birds but not us. In His Majesty's heart, we're even less than the birds. Let me in, I want to see His Majesty. The Duke left and the two ladies were dragged away by servants. Your servant wants to enter the harem. Please give your servant a chance. Later, the canary and quail were brought in. His Majesty has brought the birds. Feng Qiu sat in front of the pot, reading the memorial. Wen Min trembled beside the cage. Tram Sween said, that damn emperor really wants to cook us. Wait, this man is... Wen Min then asked, hey, Tram Sween, why aren't you saying anything now? Didn't you talk a lot earlier? Scared stupid now. Tram Sween replied, no, earlier I told you I was demoted because I changed someone's fate. Who was the one whose fate was changed? Von Min was surprised. What fate did you change for him? It's not Tram Sween, who answered 3,000 beauties but powerless. Hearing that, Von Min grimaced. So it was you the one making the bird struggle inside. Does this name change fate or what? Why must it always turn into powerlessness, making my mission directly as hard as going to hell? Tram Sween was strangled until foam came out of his mouth. At that moment, I'm too drunk. Tu Min Min let go, a murder will happen. Von Min angrily said, you ruined my bird's life. With no regrets, I must kill this sacrificial bird. Suddenly, Feng shouted, grabbing Von Min. Enough, take this Mr. Vu to the Imperial Pharmacy. Von Min struggled. Let me go, I have to kill him. An Vu felt like his soul was about to fly away. Yes, hurry, take me to the Imperial Pharmacy. I'd rather be thrown into a soup pot than stay with this violent girl. Von Min angrily said, you dare call me violent? If you are so brave, don't go. Let me show you what real violence is. The eunuch took An Vu away, saying, Ban, yes. Feng Qiu angrily pointed at Von Min. Caught and brought back to the palace and still arguing with such a lively Mr. Vu. Seems like you don't feel any guilt for dirtying my dragon bed, huh? Von Min thought, why should I feel guilty? That's fairy essence. Ordinary people can eat it and cure sickness. Feng Qiu said again, you've been moving all day. Looks like your muscles have loosened up, so just put you directly into the pot. Von Min stood in front of the steam rising from the pot. Hey dog, Emperor, do you really want to eat me? Believe that I'll use fairy magic to seriously injure you. Suddenly, Feng Qiu trembled, clutching his chest and collapsed. Von Min was stunned. What's wrong? Like, I hadn't even used magic yet. Feng Qiu panicked. No good, didn't expect it to flare up now. His heart pounded hard. Then Feng Qiu used his inner strength to push something out from his body. Von Min panicked. It was a silver needle. Feng Qiu spat blood, then fell face down on the ground. Damn it! Von Min was stunned. What's going on here? I was just joking. I didn't use fairy magic. So why did something happen to Feng Qiu? Von Min transformed back into human form and caught Feng Qiu. Hey, Feng Qiu, what's wrong with you? Wake up, Von Min. Pulse taking is failing. The pulse is chaotic. Feng Qiu's life is in danger. What to do if he dies? My mission will have no chance of completion. I must find a way to save him. Feng Qiu passed out. Seems like there's no other way right now. I can only transfer a stream of fairy energy to him to keep him alive. Just so you know, I don't intend to grope you or anything. I'm only doing this to save you. Von Min touched his face, then kissed his lips, transferring spiritual energy. After a while, Feng Qiu's hand twitched. Transferring over 10 streams of fairy energy finally got him out of danger. Then Von Min transformed back into a canary. So sleepy. I have to sleep for a bit. Feng Qiu Ten woke up. He sat up embarrassed. My old illness flared up and I passed out, huh? But why do I not feel any discomfort this time? Even full of strength. Seeing the canary rolling around, Feng Qiu held it in his hand. The little bird was really fast asleep. But since you've always been by my side when I passed out, I'll allow you to sleep on my dragon bed. Speaking of which, Feng Qiu dreamily recalled the image of a girl kissing him earlier. I even dreamed a dream within a dream. It seemed like a fairy kissed me to save me. Feng Qiu placed the little bird on the dragon bed. Last time he had the exact same dream. For a whole day only you have been beside me. Feng Qiu poked the canary. That fairy wasn't you pretending to be, was she? Little bird, chirp, chirp. Feng Qiu smiled. What nonsense am I thinking now? Just a lazy and naughty canary. Feng Qiu ordered, oh, someone come here. The secret guards appeared. Your Majesty, Feng Qiu asked, how long have I been in the room? The secret guard replied, 3 watches. Feng Qiu was surprised, only 3 watches. I see. You may withdraw. Then the secret guard disappeared, yes. Feng Qiu held the silver needle in hand. This is the 17th silver needle I've forced out before. When I forced out the silver needle, I was at least unconscious for 3 days. This time I woke up after just 3 hours. Could it really be that someone helped me? Someone is sound asleep right now. Then Van Mien woke up. How comfortable it is to sleep. She looked around in surprise. Oh, I didn't expect to be sleeping on Long's bed. Let's see if this emperor has a conscience or not. What a waste that I, a celestial maiden, gave him immortal energy. Suddenly a voice came in from outside the window. Little sister, don't leave. Let's have a deep talk about life together. Van Mien went out, surprised a magpie holding 2 birds in both hands. Little sister, if not, be my wife. Just follow me, and later we can roam freely across the harem. Van Mien despised Tram Shuyen, this lecherous scoundrel, not even letting the bird go. Van Mien made a move to release the bird. Van Mien butted Tram Shuyen's head, making the 3 of them fly apart. Tram Shuyen battered asked little Mian, why are you stopping me from courting girls? Are you jealous? Van Mien angrily said. Jealous my ass, you demon. You should have died under the chef's blade to protect the innocent birds in the palace from your harm. Tram Shuyen questioned, how could this celestial maiden die by a mortal's hand? I can use a bit of magic to escape any time. Van Mien shook her wings. All right, you're right, Tram Shuyen. I have something to tell you. Last night, Feng Qiu vomited blood and fell into a coma. A servant looking up saw 2 birds chirping at each other and was puzzled. In this era, can canaries understand magpies? Van Mien recounted everything to Tram Shuyen exactly as it was. That silver needle seems to have been hidden inside Feng Qiu's body for a long time. Don't know why it's like that, Tram Shuyen replied. Probably because the emperor was trapped years ago waiting for this. Van Mien asked how so. Tram Shuyen recounted, I once found an ancient book called Silver Needle Acupoint Sealing in the Celestial Library. The book says silver needle acupoint sealing can cause the body to lose certain functions. The emperor's impotence is very likely related to this silver needle. Yes. Van Mien widened her eyes and asked, does the book say how to cure it? Tram Shuyen immediately flew off. I must return to the Celestial Library to find out. No time to waste. I'm going back now to borrow that ancient book. Van Mien urged, okay, go quickly. Achievement. Van Mien suddenly leveled up. If Feng Qiu's impotence can be cured, isn't completing my mission within reach? From the other side came a shout, servant, how dare you? Van Mien looked down in surprise to see what was going on. Tuit Phi stood in front of a girl kneeling with 2 servants attending her. Tuit Phi said aggressively, she's just a lowly palace maid, seeing me and still daring not to immediately pay respects. Truly brazen. Van Mien panicked, looking up to explain, no, Your Highness. I didn't see it. Your Highness, I didn't mean it. Tuit Phi slapped Van Mien hard, insolent. Van Mien held her face trembling and stammered, Your Highness. But Tuit Phi brushed her hand away with a fierce look and still dared to talk back. Someone cut this palace maid's face for me. Tuit Phi was jealous inside, thinking, this maid is even prettier than me. I must ruin her face to prevent His Majesty from being tempted. Elsewhere, Van Mien watched from a tree branch. Van Mien was angry. It's Tuit Phi again. Last time she almost threw me into the hot pot. Now she dares to bully palace maids again. Looks like I have to teach her a lesson. The palace maid obeyed Tuit Phi's order, yes, and stepped forward. Van Mien panicked. Your Highness, please have mercy on me. Van Mien cast a spell. I'm the master of foul unlucky magic. A foul-smelling breath blew down on them. Tuit Phi suddenly sneezed. She was surprised. What's going on? Why does it suddenly smell so bad? Who dares to fart in front of me? They all covered their noses from the bad smell. The palace maid spoke up. Your Highness, the bad smell is coming from that person. Hearing the maid say that, Tuit Phi panicked. What? How could I possibly smell so bad? Then she suddenly stumbled over a stone and fell backward. Tuit Phi panicked and ordered, quickly pull me back up. But no one had time to do anything. At that moment, a dog behind was about to relieve itself. Even the dog quickly dodged. Tuit Phi, the maid, said anxiously, Your Majesty, are you all right? Tuit Phi, bored, sat up. Damn, I'm so dizzy. Looking at the back of Snow Concubine's hair, it was covered in dog poop. The maid stammered, Your Highness, it's dog poop. Snow Concubine was stunned. I got stained with this filthy stuff. I have to go back and wash up. Snow Concubine ran off as fast as she could. The maid shouted anxiously, "Follow your highness carefully, there's a pond ahead." Van Mien perched on a tree branch, laughed heartily, holding his belly. "I bring misfortune to this fairy. All day long you will be unlucky." "Who told you to catch me earlier serves you right." Van Mien sat crying, "Boo-hoo-hoo. Your highness wants to scratch my face." "What should I do, boo-hoo? I want to go home to my grandmother's. I miss grandma so much." Van Mien looked on with sympathy. "Let me say this. This little maid is really beautiful after all. Maybe I can arrange her for the emperor. I'll go meet her first." Then Van Mien transformed into human form and landed. Van Mien said little maid Van Mien was stunned. "This girl is so beautiful. Is she a fairy?" "Yes, she is." Van Mien asked Van Mien why so stunned. "I see." Van Mien handed Van Mien a handkerchief. "Here, wipe your tears. Snow Concubine is gone now. No need to worry." But Van Mien was still trembling. "But what if Snow Concubine, your highness, comes back later?" Van Mien smiled and said, "Don't worry. She's having quite an interesting time right now. She won't have the strength to cause you any trouble." Hearing this, Van Mien was surprised. Elsewhere, Snow Concubine hurriedly ran and fell into the pond, screaming, "Ah, help!" The maid rushed over in panic. "Your highness, be careful." Snow Concubine got out of the water, furious, tearing at the grass. "I've had enough. After hundreds of meters, I keep stepping on dog poop. Then I fall into the water. Why does this keep happening?" Suddenly, a white pellet fell onto Snow Concubine's head. A bird flying by just dropped a poop. Snow Concubine was speechless and stunned. The maid didn't know what to say. "Your highness." Snow Concubine grabbed the maid's collar in anger and shouted, "Ah, it must be that maid. She's a demon cursing me. That's why I've been so unlucky." The maid replied fearfully, "That can't be true, your highness." Seeing how scared that maid was, Snow Concubine angrily interrupted, "It definitely is her. Quickly find a Taoist for me. I must reveal that maid's true form." "Yes, my spirit is flying away." Then the two maids quickly ran off. "Yes, yes." Elsewhere, Van Mien heard Van Nie's confession and was surprised. "What, you want to leave the palace?" Van Nie stammered, "Yes. My grandmother is seriously ill and doesn't have much time left. I want to leave the palace to take care of her, but the steward won't allow it." Van Mien was pleasantly surprised. "I didn't expect this maid to be so filial." "Exactly. She's very suitable for the emperor." Van Mien then said, "I can help you leave the palace. After you finish your filial duty, come back." Hearing this, Van Mien was grateful. How could that be possible? "The palace is strictly guarded. If you sneak out and get caught, they'll cut off your head." Van Mien smiled. "So you're worried about that?" Van Mien waved at her Baase fan and easily created a fate portal. "If you enter this formation, you can return to your origin." Van Mien was surprised. "Origin," Van Mien replied. "It can directly take you back to your hometown. Don't worry, it's fast, efficient, and versatile. Absolutely no danger." Van Mien was stunned and whispered, "Yours? Are you really a fairy?" Van Mien pushed Van Nie inside. "Stop asking so many questions. Didn't you want to leave the palace? Go back and take care of your grandmother. After your filial duty, remember to come back." Van Nie stepped in, smiling. "Thank you, immortal." Then Van Nie disappeared. Van Mien held the Baase fan and returned to her kind-hearted form. Her beautiful appearance could be considered the best candidate for pregnancy. If she could really be matched with the emperor, that would be perfect. To prevent Van Nie's disappearance from raising suspicion. "From now on, in the eyes of others, I will take on the appearance of Van Nie." Van Mien uses the fan to transform into Van Nie. This is a perfect chance to observe the personalities of the concubines in the harem. Let's see who else is suitable for the emperor. Suddenly a voice says, "So the servant girl is here." Van Mien turns around in surprise. Tuit Phi. Tuit Phi angrily arrives with a man holding a sword. "Does concubine Tuit Phi have business with me?" Tuit Phi's angry face says, "You servant girl are very bold. Who gave you the right to address me like that in front of this palace maid?" Just as she finished speaking, she stepped on a banana peel and slipped, falling face first. Van Mien sneers. "Yes, concubine Tuit Phi, if you have something to say, just say it calmly without such a big show." Tuit Phi sits up with a banana peel on her head, gritting her teeth in anger. "Damn it. Chief Wang, aren't you going to deal with this monster?" Chief Wang grits his teeth and draws his sword. "Yes. Concubine Tuit Phi, leave the rest to me, the chief." He holds up a talisman monster. "Why don't you quickly surrender and reveal your true form in front of me?" The chief, Van Mien, is stunned. "Monster me? Does this dog Taoist even have eyes? What part of me looks like a monster?" Chief Wang points his sword at Van Mien and says, "Just by looking, I know you harm living beings." Wild boar demon, the concubines whisper among themselves, what this concubine is actually a wild boar demon. But she's so skinny. Maybe she's a boar injected with lean meat drugs. That's scary. So does she eat people? Vunmin clenches her fists angrily. I am the most beautiful fairy in the celestial realm, and you dare compare me to a wild boar demon? How outrageous. Chief Wang still dares to justify this wild boar demon. I will beat you back to your true form. The yellow powder surrounds Vunmin. She is surprised this yellow powder smells like alcohol. Like using alcohol as an accelerant. What kind of Taoist is this? Just a con artist. The concubines whisper, the Taoist is so powerful. Look at this flame. Is this celestial magic? Is the wild boar demon about to reveal its true form? Tweet Fee smugly thinks servant girl reveal your true demon form. I want you to be shattered beyond repair. Chief Wang uses his magical skills to attack the demon. He thinks there are no such things as demons in this world. But since I took money from Tiet Fee, I have to do this well. Go in. Ready, the wild boar demon? Just waiting for me to knock out this weak, beautiful concubine. Then I can take the chance to switch out Vunmin. Celestial magic speaks nonsense, get lost. She punches Chief Wang in the face. He shouts loudly, then flies back and breaks a large tree trunk in two. Tiet Fee stares in shock. Chief Wang and Vunmin point fingers and say, how dare you call me a pig demon? You must be out of your mind. Chief Wang's face twisted. I said to use magic to duel. How can you use physical attacks? Vunmin immediately kicks him. I'm hitting you because you insulted me as a pig demon right after showing up without caring if I could take it. Try insulting me one more time and see if I don't kick you to death. Chief Wang panics. Oh my God, please spare me. Raising her foot to strike this little concubine doesn't seem heavy, but when she kicks it, feels like 1,000 pounds. The concubines exchange glances and whisper, so he's a con artist on the martial world. No wonder I trusted him earlier. Isn't that right? How could a real Taoist be beaten so badly? This little concubine is really fierce. I didn't expect her to be so skilled in martial arts. Tuet Fa trembles, but still stands pointing and saying, ordinary people don't have this kind of strength. She must be a demon disguised as a human. Quickly capture this demon. The soldiers appear each trembling. The Taoist was beaten like that. How could ordinary concubines stand a chance? Ordinary people like us can't beat Vunmin. She crosses her arms and says, look, where do I look like a demon? The Taoist attacked first, so I resisted. I couldn't just stand by and let him burn me. The soldiers freeze and say, so cute, how could a demon be this adorable? If she were a demon, we would have lost our lives long ago. That's true, there's no such thing as demons in this world. Tuet Fee hid behind the soldiers and said, don't listen to this demon, she's bewitching people. Vunmin crossed her arms, sighed, and shook her head. Tuet Fee, you're like this. It's not good low intelligence, unworthy morality for your position, completely unfit to be with the emperor. Tuet Fee was stunned. Low intelligence, unworthy morality for the position. She got angry. How dare you insult me? Why aren't you killing this demon for me? If not, I'll punish you. Suddenly a voice said, what are you all doing? Vunmin was surprised. Tuet Fee with an angry face turned to Feng Qiu, who appeared. Tiet Fei immediately accused the emperor. Your Majesty, you came just in time. This palace maid is a demon. Stay away from her. Vunmin suddenly grabbed Feng Qiu's arm, saying she's lying. Feng Qiu said, don't listen to her. I'm innocent. The soldiers were stunned. Did I hear wrong? This palace maid dares to call the emperor by name and hold his arm so intimately. At the same time, this palace maid broke 2 taboos. She's surely doomed. Feng Qiu froze. You little palace maid. Vunmin let go. She thought, if I can't manage this, I'll lose my little canary. I forgot I'm just a palace maid. Sorry, Your Majesty, I acted hastily because of the situation. Feng Qiu turned away. Since it's your first offense, I'll let it slide this time. He thought to himself, how strange, why don't I feel angry at this palace maid's offense? I even feel a strange closeness. The servants were stunned. What? Such a serious offense and the emperor forgives her. Doesn't that mean he likes her? Surely this palace maid is trying to attract the emperor's attention. Why didn't I think of this trick? Tuet Fee frowned angrily. Your Majesty, don't let this demon bewitch you. She's using magic to seduce you. Hurry and kill this demon. Feng Qiu angrily said, how dare you order me around? Tuet Fee was afraid. No, Your Majesty, I only worry about you. Vunmin was shocked and spoke, Feng, Your Majesty, Tuet Fee is mentally unstable. I'm not a fairy, just a simple flower caretaker. She always calls me a wild boar demon. That's too much. Feng Qiu sneered. Wild boar demon, haha, wild is an accurate description. Vun Mian was fuming. What nonsense is this emperor saying? Where's the wild part? Vun Mian thought, if you keep this up, you'll lose your cute little canary. Don't you know that? Tuit Fai looked annoyed watching their closeness. Damn demon, how dare you bewitch the emperor? I won't let you get away with this. Seeing the peachwood sword, Tuyet Fi's eyes gleamed with malice. All right, I'll reveal your true form right in front of the emperor. Demon die. Tuyet Fi grabbed the sword and rushed at Vun Mian. Vun Mian froze. Feng Qiu quickly ran over to catch her. Careful. Feng Qiu was stabbed in the shoulder and bled. Vun Mian was shocked. Feng Qiu, you took the blow from me. Feng Qiu's face froze. Why did I instinctively block it? Could it be that I feel this way about this palace maid? Tuit Fi panicked. Your Majesty, why did you defend this palace maid? She's a demon. Before she could finish, Feng Qiu kicked Tuit Fi away, silencing her. Vun Mian hurried over and touched Feng Qiu's shoulder wound. Your Majesty, you're injured. Feng Qiu reassured her. It's a small wound, it's nothing. The soldiers knelt down in unison, shouting, Oh, heavens! Your Majesty is bleeding. How can this be a small wound? Send for the imperial doctor immediately. We are willing to die in your service. Feng Qiu said, I'm fine. No need to make a fuss. Then he turned to Tuit Fi. And you, Tuit Fi, how dare you attempt to assassinate me? Tuit Fi was terrified. Your Majesty, I would never attempt to assassinate you. Tuit Fi stood up and pointed at Vun Mian. I intended to kill that demon. Your Majesty, you've been bewitched by her. Vun Mian stood with hands on hips. I told you I'm not a demon. Can you stop being so stubborn? Tuit Fi was stunned and grabbed Feng Qiu's hand. The demoness started to charm people again. Your Majesty, quickly kill her, or you will be drained of your energy. Feng Qiu angrily shook off Tuit Fi's hand and told her to shut up. The world is peaceful. Where would demons come from? Send Tuyet Fi to the cold palace to calm down. The soldiers then dragged Tuyet Fi away. Yes, Tuyet Fi was dragged off while still begging the emperor. You can't treat your servant like this. I did everything for you. This servant is a demon. She will harm you. You have to trust me. Van Mien sighed helplessly. Someone who was fine suddenly went crazy like this. It's unnecessary to be like this. Meanwhile, Vuong Dao Trong sneakily slipped away. May the Supreme Elder Lord protect me so no one sees me. No one sees me. But just then, Van Mien turned around. She said, almost called, that trickster a demon boar. Emperor, that trickster is trying to escape. Quickly catch him. Vuong Dao Chuang frightened. Oh no, I've been caught. Then he turned back to kneel and kowtow, Your Majesty, please spare this humble servant. It's just that the servant accepted some money from Tuyet Fi and recklessly eliminated demons. The servant has an elderly mother and young children at home and won't dare do it again. Feng Qiu annoyedly ordered drag him outside and punish him with 50 strikes. Expel him from the palace. Vuong Dao Trong was dragged off, crying out, I was wrong. The emperor spared his life. Yes. Van Mien smugly thought she had taken care of all the troublemakers. Now it's comfortable. Suddenly she was surprised looking around Feng. No, Your Majesty, thank you for helping me just now. But Feng Qiu said immediately, Stop! Van Mien surprised. Oh, do you need something? Feng Qiu asked, What is your name? Little palace maid. Van Mien smiled and replied, Oh, my name, I'm Van Nhi. Almost forgot I'm playing someone else's role. Feng Qiu smiled. Van Nhi, right? I was injured because of you. Will you just leave like that? Van Mien was surprised, thinking, didn't you just say it was a minor injury? Now you bring this up again. This man is really good at flipping sides. Then Van Mien said, Your Majesty, if you're injured, you should see the imperial doctor. Van Nhi staying won't help you. Feng Qiu stepped forward and lifted her chin. How won't you help? I want you to apply medicine for me. Hearing this, Van Mien's eyes went wide and mouth open in surprise. Apply medicine, me. At Long Tay Palace, Van Mien muttered while walking. What's wrong with this emperor? There's an imperial doctor, but he won't use him, and instead tells me to apply medicine for him. She was holding the medicine bottle when she heard a commotion. I came first, so let me apply the medicine for Your Majesty. Van Mien was surprised. Why so noisy? At the door, several concubines were fighting. I came first. Clearly, I came first. Move aside. I have to apply medicine for Your Majesty. Van Mien was stunned. Oh my God. What's going on here? Are the concubines at this palace crazy to meet the emperor? They started fighting right away. Huayan Fi appeared. Shut up, all of you, for this palace. My rank is the highest concubine. Do you dare compete with me? The concubines said disappointedly to each other, Huayan Fi. Huayan Fi is here. We've lost our chance. That's right, Tuyet Fi was sent to the coal palace. Wu Yanfei will monopolize the emperor's favor. The concubines all bowed, consort Wu Yanfei, we dare not. Wu Yanfei proudly said, good that you don't dare. Who else but me can apply medicine for the emperor? Van Mien sat in the hallway, happily, good for her. If someone else is applying medicine to the emperor, then I'm not needed anymore. She sat and bit on sunflower seeds. Now I just have to watch the show. Duke appeared and asked, what's going on? Where is the one bringing the medicine? Why hasn't he arrived? Wu Yanfei said excitedly. Duke, I'm here. The emperor must be anxious waiting. I'm bringing the medicine to your majesty right now. Just as Yanfei was about to enter, Kung Kung stopped her. Your Highness Yanfei, this is not your concern. His Majesty has already identified who applied the medicine. Wu Yanfei was surprised. What, she angrily clenched her fists. What nonsense is this? That it's not me. Who is it? De Kung Kung pointed to Van Mien. It's Van Yi. What are you waiting for? Hurry up and apply the medicine for His Majesty. Van Mien thought to herself, what is this about? Why are they still looking for me? De Kung Kung urged, move quickly. If His Majesty's wound gets worse, you will be held responsible. Van Mien quickly jumped down and said yes. Why does this damn emperor keep targeting me? Everyone looked at Van Mien puzzled. Who is this person? It feels like she's not a concubine of the harem. From the way she's dressed, she looks like a palace maid. What a palace maid worthy of applying medicine to His Majesty. This is infuriating. Wu Yanfei angrily said, Kung Kung, am I really inferior to a common palace maid? Van Mien immediately said, that's right, Kung Kung, I'm just a humble palace maid. Let Wu Yanfei apply the medicine to His Majesty, that's enough. Wu Yanfei angrily shouted, shut up, I'm talking here. There's no place for a lowly servant like you to butt in. She thought, is this servant bragging in front of me? Van Mien gritted her teeth, thinking, does Wu Yanfei have no brains? I'm trying to help her and she still scolds me. If that's the case, I'll just have to make her angry. Van Mien brushed her hair back, saying, who said tell me among the 3,000 beauties in the harem, why does His Majesty insist on favoring only me? I already advised His Majesty to share his favor more. But he just wouldn't listen and only uses me. How can a servant like me bear this? Wu Yanfei was furious. You vile woman, how dare you provoke me? Then Van Mien turned and walked in. Sorry, Wu Yanfei. I really don't have time to provoke you. After all, His Majesty is still waiting for me to personally apply the medicine. Van Mien smiled silently. Who told you not to be polite with me? Let's see if you don't get furious. Wu Yanfei was boiling with rage. You servant, stop right there for me. You lowly, lewd woman. De Kung Kung quickly stopped her. Your Highness Yanfei, please halt. Wu Yanfei angrily said, Kung Kung, move aside. You saw just now that servant doesn't respect me at all. I must tear her apart. De Kung Kung said sternly, Your Highness Wu Yanfei, disturbing His Majesty will cost you your head. Hearing that, Wu Yanfei froze. Then De Kung Kung closed the door. All concubines, please leave. Wu Yanfei gritted her teeth angrily. That damn servant named Van Yi, right? Don't let the palace catch you. Otherwise, you'll get what's coming. Van Mien stepped forward, carrying the medicine, and said, Your Highness, you asked me to find a concubine of good virtue to carry this Tai Yanfei, but clearly she doesn't meet the requirements. Looks like I still have to choose more carefully. Feng Qiu was already sitting in the chair waiting. Why is she so late? Do you want His Majesty's wound to get worse? Van Mien was surprised. Oh, Feng Qiu. Van Mien lifted the medicine tray and replied, I was delayed fetching the medicine. She was annoyed inside, asked me to apply the medicine, but with this attitude. If you hadn't helped me block that sword just now, I would have thrown the medicine bottle at you by now. Feng Qiu stood up and questioned, Oh, really? Isn't it because you were outside arguing with His Majesty's concubine that you're late? Then you came close to Van Mien and exaggerated that His Majesty's harem has 3,000 beauties, but only favors you. Van Mien was stunned, thinking, oh, what Feng Qiu actually believed my words to provoke Wu Yanfei. Who is this Thuan Fong? She stammered in response. You misunderstood, sir. Feng Qiu raised her hand and pressed her against the wall. Is that so? He looked straight into Van Mien's eyes. Then why did you say you advised me to share my favor? But I just wouldn't listen and only favored you. Did I also mishear that? She thought, does the emperor really have such a good memory? Yet you remember every single word the person himself said. Such a sorrowful feeling. Van Mien blushed and said, that was me speaking. So what do you want? What are you trying to do? Feng Qiu lifted her chin with his hand. A lowly palace maid dares to provoke me. Who gave you the courage? Feng Qiu leaned in close to Van Mien. She then left, and that was Lung Tinyu. Feng Qiu was surprised. Who is this Lung Tinyu? Van Mien put down the medicine tray and said, she is a very famous official. Your Majesty, please stop paying attention to Lung Tinyu. Let me apply the medicine first. Your wound cannot be left untreated any longer. Feng Qiu replied, this time you used my name to argue with the concubines of the palace. Since this is your first offense, I will forgive you this once. If there's a next time, Von Min immediately ignored the emperor. Don't worry, there won't be a next time. Once is enough to be embarrassed. How could there be a next time? Feng Qiu got angry and just stood there dumbfounded. Hurry and apply the medicine for me. Come here. Von Min took the bottle of medicine. She froze when she saw Feng Qiu take off his shirt. A muscular six-pack body. Von Min covered her face. What are you doing, taking off your shirt? Feng Qiu said, nonsense. How else can you apply medicine without taking off the shirt? Hurry over here. Von Min sighed, holding the medicine bottle. Fine, the faster it's done, the faster we leave. Your Majesty, I will apply the medicine now. Feng Qiu said, be gentle. Then Von Min used cotton to dab the medicine on the wound. Got it? Feng Qiu looked at Von Min's face and thought, I've always hated women getting close. But with this little palace maid, I don't feel disgusted. Why is that? Von Min blushed, thinking, damn, Feng Qiu's body proportions are just too perfect. The feel of these hands, this six-pack. Last time by the lake was just from afar. Now feeling it up close is really exciting for me. I want her to swallow her saliva. Feng Qiu grabbed Von Min's wrist and questioned, what was that sound? Von Min blushed deeply. What sound? I didn't hear anything. Your Majesty, maybe you misheard. She thought absolutely must not admit it. I, a noble lady, absolutely cannot be someone making such impolite drooling gestures. Feng Qiu whispered into her ear, you're sure that sound didn't come from you? Surely you don't have some intention toward me, right? Von Min pushed him away. There's no such thing. I'm not lusting after your body. Suddenly she tripped and fell into Feng Qiu's arms. Feng Qiu questioned, and you still say you have no intention toward me? You're a hungry tiger pouncing on prey already. She quickly denied 3 times, I'm not, no. Don't talk nonsense. I just accidentally fell. Now get up and don't move. Feng Qiu pushed Von Min back onto the floor. He supported himself on both hands, thinking, what's going on? It seems my body hasn't been this excited in a long time. Von Min panicked. Hey, let me go. What do you want to do? She froze. Wait a minute. Why do I feel something? Feng Qiu lifted Von Min's chin and questioned, who exactly are you? He thought this woman actually awakened my body. Von Min struggled. I'm just an ordinary flower caretaker. Let go of me. I've been tricked. Not the dog emperor. Hey, did he say he's impotent? Then what is this feeling I'm getting? Feng Qiu was surprised and asked, really just a flower caretaker? I've always hated women. My body really has a chronic issue. How can I be so easily aroused by this woman? Von Min said sternly, hey, Feng Qiu, I warn you, let me go quickly. Don't think 'cause you're handsome I won't hit you. If I act, I'll scare you into crying. Feng Qiu leaned in even closer to Von Min. How dare you call me by my name directly? I'm so scared. Try it then? Von Min raised his index finger. This dog, Emperor, dares to provoke me. You can endure it, but the immortal cannot. Let me teach you a lesson. Suddenly, at that moment, there was a knock on the door. Eunuch stood outside the door and announced, Your Majesty, we have been waiting in the Imperial study for a long time. Princess Feng Qiu immediately interrupted, I will come there shortly. You wait outside, Von Min thought to herself. Consider this lucky for the dog emperor. Then Feng Qiu put her clothes back on and said to Von Min Gardner, flower caretaker, I still have business. Tomorrow you will come here again to apply medicine for me. Von Min panicked. What? Why are you asking me to apply medicine again? Based on what Feng Qiu sneered, based on the fact that I am the emperor. Is that enough? Hearing this, Von Min gritted her teeth and replied, enough. She pinned it in her heart. I endure all of this because of duty. When I finish my duty, I must teach this dog emperor to be human. Meanwhile, Feng Qiu left while thinking this little palace maid's attitude toward me is different from others. She is definitely not an ordinary person. Her name is Von Ni, right? I remember your name now. Later, Von Min muttered while walking down the corridor. This dog emperor really is nothing good. Commanding at will, I, the immortal, won't say anything. She blushed. Before that, she even tricked me into thinking he was powerless. Clearly, just now, that part of him made Von Min freeze. Hey, wait, if the emperor is not powerless, then my mission could be easily accomplished, right? I just need to pick a decent consort and bring her before His Majesty. Suddenly, a girl ran past and bumped into her. What the hell does the Imperial Palace have tantrums too? Seeing that girl fall, a maid ran after her in panic. Lady Tranfi, are you all right? We servants know you care for His Majesty, but you must also take care of your health. Someone hasn't eaten all day while praying for His Majesty. The body won't be able to handle it. Van Min stood by watching the palace maid help Tranfi up. Tranfi. What kind of person is she? I've never met her before. Tranfi said with a sad look, no need to pay attention. I only want His Majesty to get better. Even if I die, it doesn't matter. Seeing this, the group of palace maids following were moved by Her Highness's heartfelt feelings for His Majesty. Heaven and earth can bear witness. If there is still sincere love in this world, it must be Her Highness's affection for His Majesty. Sob, 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 sob. This servant is truly touched. Van Min was helpless and said, your act is over the top. Wasn't Feng Qiu only slightly injured on her shoulder? You'd think she was dead. Tranfi came closer, surprised. That little palace maid who was praying here earlier, I saw her come out of His Majesty's chambers. I wonder how His Majesty's health is now. Van Min replied, reporting to Your Highness, His Majesty is very healthy, but tomorrow I still need to apply medicine to him. Vang the innocent one waved her hand and smiled. Tranfi said sadly, what, you still have to come tomorrow? I'm just worried about His Majesty's health. I wonder if I could have the chance to apply the medicine tomorrow instead. Tranfi said with a fixed gaze, if that little palace maid refuses, don't blame me for being heartless. Van Min immediately replied, Her Highness wants to apply the medicine to His Majesty. Why didn't you say so earlier? I'll give this chance to Your Highness. Hearing that, Tranfi smiled. You really want to give it to me? That's great. Whatever reward you want, I can grant you. Van Min happily replied, no need for rewards. I mainly agree because of Your Highness's sincere heart for His Majesty. Tranfi thought to herself, His Majesty letting this little palace maid apply the medicine means he definitely likes her. From now on, I absolutely must not let her get close to His Majesty anymore. Tranfi said happily, you're not bad, little palace maid. Later, I'll arrange a light-on for you. Van Min gratefully replied, thank you so much, Your Highness. Van Min was secretly happy finally she could throw away this hard task. Afterwards, the two shook hands and reached a friendly cooperation. Then I'll leave first, Your Highness. Van Min smiled inwardly. Tomorrow I'll observe them. If successful, my mission will be accomplished. Seeing Van Min run off like that, the palace maid beside her spoke up. Your Highness, this little palace maid didn't even bow properly before leaving. Clearly, she doesn't respect Your Highness at all. Tranfi crossed her arms with a calculating look. It's okay. This little palace maid is considered sensible. I'll let her off this time. Yes, the most important thing is that tomorrow I must meet His Majesty. I absolutely cannot waste this opportunity. The palace maid happily flattered, Your Highness is so beautiful. You will definitely achieve your wishes. Then Tranfi left. Follow me back to the palace. I must bathe and put on makeup immediately. The palace maid followed, yes. Tranfi smiled inwardly as she walked. His Majesty has never favored any concubine. If tomorrow His Majesty favors me, then I will definitely be the most influential person in the palace. The next day, the sun was blazing. Van Min transformed into a canary and flew away. Yesterday, she gave up the chance to apply medicine to Tranfi. Now she must have gone over there. I have to observe the progress of the mission. If everything goes smoothly, I can get promoted and get a raise. The canary perched on a branch, looking down and saw Feng Qiu sitting by the window painting. This position is good with the wide view capturing everything. It will definitely be a wonderful experience. Then Tranfi opened the door and walked in. His Majesty Van Min wore glasses and sat in a chair eating popcorn watching. Here she comes, here she comes. Tranfi has arrived. The show is about to begin. Tranfi carried the tray of medicine to His Majesty. I, your humble servant, have come to apply the medicine. She thought to herself, today I specially sprayed enchanting incense on my clothes. If His Majesty smells it, he will definitely be overcome with desire and rush at me. Feng Qiu turned away in annoyance. Why is it you? Tranfi froze. His Majesty assigned this little palace maid the task of applying medicine to me. I will take care of His Majesty's wound. Let me do it. Feng Qiu angrily knocked over the medicine table. Get out. Tranfi was stunned. Feng Qiu gritted his teeth in anger. How dare a mere flower caretaker take it upon herself to apply medicine to someone else? You're surely dead. Van Min sat on a tree branch, anxiously throwing off her glasses. Wow, what kind of terrifying anger is that? Isn't it just swapping who applies the medicine? Does the Emperor really need to be this angry? If you have time to be mad, wouldn't it be better to just rush at Tranfi instead? Tranfi, dressed revealingly, spoke up. Your Majesty, I truly like you. She ran over and hugged Feng Qiu. How can you be so cold to me? Feng Qiu was surprised. What's this smell? He was shocked. This is bad. It seems my old illness has relapsed because of this. Seeing that Tranfi smiled quietly. It's working. The Emperor isn't pushing me away. The intoxicating fragrance, combined with this palace lady's beauty. Don't say the Emperor, even immortals would be moved. She quickly tried to push her off, but suddenly Feng Qiu kicked Tranfi away. Do you want to die? Tranfi was bold. You're really daring. What have you done to me? Tranfi fell awkwardly to the floor. I didn't do anything. She thought, has His Majesty figured something out already? I absolutely can't admit it. Feng Qiu, holding his chest, gritted his teeth and said, get lost quickly, or I'll take your life. Tranfi fled in fear. Yes, yes, Your Majesty. Feng Qiu sat angrily on the ground. What was that smell before the banquet? It caused my old illness to flare up uncontrollably. Van Mien outside the window was surprised. What's going on? Why doesn't it follow the script? Shouldn't they just rush at each other? What's happening now? Feng Qiu suddenly spat blood uncontrollably and then collapsed. Van Mien immediately jumped down. Feng Qiu, hold on, is your old illness relapsing? Seeing Feng Qiu fainted, you see even an emperor like you faints at the slightest thing. Looks like this fairy has to step in and save you again. She took out a bottle of medicine. This time no need to channel immortal energy. You'll just use this special medicine directly. This immortal wine has the power to revive the dead. A mortal who drinks a sip can cure all diseases. It can absolutely stop your old illness. Van Mien fed Feng Qiu the medicine. It must already be working. Van Mien kept giving Feng Qiu more. Another sip should speed up his recovery. Seeing his complexion turn rosy, Van Mien smiled and said, just pour the whole bottle down his throat. That way he'll wake up strong. I can also quickly finish my mission. Van Mien kept making Feng Qiu gulp it down. This should do it. Hey Feng Qiu, this fairy spent a lot to save you again. Don't keep causing me trouble later. Got it? Speaking of which, it's not easy for Feng Qiu to be emperor. Every day he has to put on a dignified face. Only when unconscious can he drop the disguise, revealing this gentle expression, sleep well. I'll come visit you again tomorrow. Then Van Mien turned into a golden bird and flew out the window. At the same time, Feng Qiu slowly woke up. Suddenly, Feng Qiu transformed into a boy. The next day, Feng Qiu lay on the dragon bed and opened his eyes. He sat up, rubbing his chest. I actually fainted, Feng Qiu thought, but my body seems fine. There's even a warm energy flowing in my dantian. He froze, waiting a moment. Feng Qiu touched his face and hands. Why are they so small? Feng Qiu stepped off the bed but had to stand on tiptoe. He grabbed a mirror. What's going on? Feng Qiu was shocked. Why have I shrunk? Van Mien called from outside the door. Your Majesty, I'm here to apply your medicine. Has your wound improved? She thought him. After Feng Qiu drank my immortal wine yesterday, he must be healthy now. I have to go check on him. Van Mien was stunned when she saw Feng Qiu. The atmosphere was quiet. She panicked. Hey, why is there a child in the Emperor's chambers? Where did you come from? Where is the Emperor? Feng Qiu's eyes flashed with irritation. He thought my affairs turning so small must be a conspiracy. Absolutely must not reveal my identity, so the mastermind cannot take advantage of the situation. Van Mien knelt down, rubbing his cheeks. Why didn't you say so? Has this adorable boy not learned to speak yet? Looking closely, he does resemble Feng Qiu. Could you be his illegitimate child? Feng Qiu immediately pulled her hand away. Stop talking nonsense. Take your hand off me. Van Mien was surprised. You can talk. Earlier you called me, my lord. Feng Qiu froze, then awkwardly replied, Yes, it made me so angry. I'm not an illegitimate child. He thought to himself that was close, almost got exposed. Van Mien thought that made sense. If you were Feng Qiu's illegitimate child, what else would I need to do? Then, little darling, you should hurry back. This harem is not a place you can stay. Be careful not to be seen by others, or you'll be caught again. Feng Qiu thought to himself, this little palace maid is not wrong. It's really not suitable for me to stay here like this. Looks like I have to rely on this woman for now. He tugged on Van Mien's sleeve. I want to follow you. Van Mien was surprised. How can that be? I still have things to do. She thought to herself, I have to quickly find the Emperor to complete my mission. Feng Qiu was angry and thought this woman is hopeless. Looks like there's no choice. Feng Qiu stepped forward and hugged Van Mien's leg with a pitiful look. I have nowhere else to go. Can you really not adopt me? Van Mien seemed moved. Oh my God, so adorable. Feng Qiu sneered, never thought a king had to rely on this trick. Van Mien took his hand. All right, you can follow me. But don't think I'm soft just because you're cute. It's just that helping children is our duty to uphold proper respect and kindness. Feng Qiu forced a smile and said, I know. He thought to himself, this woman is really superficial. Van Min walked out with Feng Qiu from the main hall, unexpectedly not encountering anyone. Feng Qiu coincidentally led a child along, but didn't know where he was going anymore. Suddenly, a voice of a little palace maid was heard. You really are here? Van Min was surprised. Wu Yanfei appeared with two large mamang behind her. Finally, I found you. Van Min replied to Wu Yanfei, yes. Wu Yanfei, Your Majesty, what do you want from me? Wu Yanfei approached and pointed at the maid who had been outside the main hall earlier. How dare you insult me? A lowly servant like you dares to disrespect me. Today I will teach you how to behave. Van Min replied, You've been looking for me these 2 days over such a trivial matter. Someone like you is really petty. Wu Yanfei angrily snapped, Who do you think you are to scold me? Wu Yanfei hesitated. A child, seeing him glare fiercely at her. You're really gutsy. This is Long to Palace, the Emperor's residence, and you dare openly bring a child with you. You really don't respect His Majesty. Feng Qiu rolled his eyes at Van Min and stopped her. Hey, Wu Yanfei, if you want to cause trouble for me, just aim it at me. Don't involve the child. Wu Yanfei sneered at him. Protecting this child like that, is this the offspring of a disgraceful lineage? Servant, who did you sleep with to give birth to this? Wu Yanfei reached to grab Feng Qiu's neck. I have to see what this disgraceful offspring looks like. But Feng Qiu brushed her hand away disdainfully. Don't touch me, you filthy thing. Wu Yanfei was furious, baring her teeth and glaring. This little whelp dares insult me and even lay hands on me. Feng Qiu thought to himself, Wu Yanfei pretends to be gentle and obedient in front of me. But behind my back, she's vicious and cruel. However, I'm not in a position to confront her now. Then he teared up with Van Min. This woman is bullying me. Van Min spoke up. Wu Yanfei, you're an adult. Bullying a child isn't that shameful. Wu Yanfei gritted her teeth. A disgraceful offspring. Even if I kill you, so what? Someone take these two down and beat them to death. Chop the bodies into pieces and throw them into the mountain for the wild wolves to eat. The two followed her orders immediately. Feng Qiu rolled up his sleeves and stepped forward. He thought to himself, Wu Yanfei's heart is even crueler. I thought this little palace maid would be hard to deal with these people. He looked at Van Min and realized I have to act quietly. Van Min spoke up. Wait. Feng Qiu was clenching her fist, but was surprised. Could this little palace maid have a trick up her sleeve? Feng Qiu hit her fist. Wu Yanfei sneered. What's the matter? Want to beg me to tell you? Even if you kneel and smash your head, I still won't spare you. Van Min looked steadily at her and said, Wu Yanfei, Wu Yanfei. There are children here. I don't want them to be negatively influenced. But if you keep forcing me, don't blame me. Hearing that, Wu Yanfei laughed loudly. What do you want? Do you even dare to hit me? Ha 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 ha, just a lowly maid. And you dare to talk big, aren't you ashamed? If you dare lay a hand on me, I swear I'll bury your whole family with you. Van Min sighed. No other way. Van Min pulled Feng Qiu up and said to him, Sorry you might have to experience for yourself that the adult world isn't very kind. Cover your eyes. Feng Qiu also covered his eyes with both hands. He wondered what this little palace maid was planning. Wu Yanfei sneered, Just a lowly maid, and you dare hit me. Wu Yanfei provoked, Come on, I'll force you. Come hit me if you dare. Van Min immediately slapped Wu Yanfei hard. Wu Yanfei fell to the ground. The palace maid panicked and knelt down. Your Highness, Wu Yanfei's face twisted. You really dared to hit me. Van Min shrugged and replied, Oh, didn't Wu Yanfei tell me to hit you? I've never heard of anyone like you who likes being mistreated all their life. Feng Qiu peeked through his fingers frozen. He thought this little palace maid was definitely unusual. Meanwhile, Wu Yanfei ground her teeth angrily. That bitch, what are you all just standing there for? Hurry up, I want to tear that bitch to pieces. The two palace maids were about to rush forward when Tranfi arrived. What's all this noise about? Van Min was surprised. Tranfi Feng Qiu glared at her. That damn woman. If it weren't for her, I wouldn't have had a relapse and passed out and even mysteriously shrunk. Tranfi saw Wu Yanfei fall to the ground and sneered, Who made you? What happened to little sister Wu Yanfei? There's a huge handprint on her face. Is that some new kind of makeup? Wu Yanfei forced herself to stand. Tranfi, stop your snide remarks. Why are you here? Tranfi answered, Of course, I'm concerned about His Majesty's health, so I came to visit. I just didn't expect to find Wu Yanfei in this estate. Hee hee, Tran Phi thought, if I hadn't cared for His Majesty because of yesterday's incident and come to investigate, I wouldn't have seen Uyen Phi struggling like this. Uyen Phi gritted her teeth angrily. I don't have time for you now. Wait until I deal with Slowly Made, then I'll reminisce about old times with you, Tran Phi. Tran Phi was surprised Lowly Maid. She looked at Van Mien and thought, isn't this the little palace maid the emperor named to apply ointment perfect? Taking advantage of this, I'll use this foolish Yen Phi to eliminate her. Tran Phi stepped closer. My dear, I didn't expect Uyen Phi to get slapped by a little palace maid. Tran Phi grabbed Uyen Phi's hand. Looks like Uyen Phi's life in the palace isn't that good. No one respects her. Uyen Phi was furious. Shut up. I am one of the 4 consorts in the palace. Who dares look down on me? Watch how I deal with this lowly maid. Van Mien asked Uyen Phi, are you really planning to deal with me here? This is Long Ti Palace, where the emperor resides. Aren't you afraid of being branded cruel if you kill me and the emperor finds out? Uyen Phi clenched her teeth angrily. You. Tran Phi whispered to Uyen Phi, that little palace maid is right. In my opinion, it's better to just drop it. Uyen Phi, you only got slapped once. You'll only be mocked for a few days. It's no big deal. Uyen Phi, agitated and angry, said, shut up. Someone quickly catch this lowly maid. Van Mien thought, what's wrong with this Tran Phi? She keeps using sweet talk to pressure Yen Phi to act and stir up trouble, right? Fine then, this fairy will give you all a big show. She used fairy magic and quickly flew toward Tran Phi. Van Mien spoke, Tran Phi, tell me what exactly do you intend to do? Tran Phi smiled and said, honestly, what can I do? I just thought I want Uyen Phi to kill you. It'd be best if you two die together, then I'd be very happy. After saying that, Tran Phi froze. Wait, why did I just say what I really think? Yuan Fei glanced sideways and said, interesting, I consort Tran Phi already know you have no good intentions. Yuan Fei pointed at Tran Phi's face, obviously wanting to use me to get rid of that lowly maid. And die together. Why don't you just go straight to hell? Tran Phi awkwardly blocked Yuan Fei's hand and said, to be honest, I have no such intention. Such a kind and lovely little maid. Tran Phi grabbed Yuan Fei's wrist. Of course she must be killed. It's best to chop her up and throw her to the dogs. So Yuan Fei, you'll be known as cruel, which suits me just fine. Yuan Fei froze. Your White Lotus Act? How dare you openly state your sinister plot? Yuan Fei snatched her hand back. Do you really think I'm a fool? Tran Phi's words spiraled out of control, honestly saying, you have always been a fool. This is just the beginning. Not long ago, I had someone steal your bodice and give it to a maid to frame you for adultery. That's what I call truly sinister. After saying this, Tran Phi covered her mouth in surprise. What's happening? Why can't I control my own mouth? The palace maids were stunned, saying, what's wrong with Tran Phi? Who would have thought she'd be so cruel? People always thought she was very kind. The maids whispered, she actually revealed her evil scheme like that. Is Tran Phi crazy? Feng Qiu sneered inwardly. Are all my consorts this cruel? Yuan Fei angrily grabbed Tran Phi's hair. Damn you, Tran Phi. Adultery is a crime punishable by death. You're trying to drag me to my death. I'll tear you apart. Tran Phi shouted loudly. Ah, let go of me. It hurts. Then she grabbed Yuan Fei's hair back. You fool. You're really like a pig. Don't think I'm afraid of you. Dare harm me, fine. I'll beat you to death. It hurts. So intense, so vivid. Women escaping the harem are terrifying. No wonder the emperor stays away from women like these. Who could stomach it? Feng Qiu sighed. That's right. Women really are scary. Watching those two fight, Van Mien said, let them fight. It's none of our business. Van Mien grabbed Feng Qiu's hand. Come on, kid, let's go. Then the two walked past them as they pulled hair-scratched faces. Let go of me. Let go first. Feng Qiu glanced over, thinking I never expected my consorts to act like clowns. I really can't stand it anymore. Then Tran Phi's palace maid stopped her. Consort Yuan Fei, please don't fight anymore. This is Long to Palace. It wouldn't be good to disturb the emperor. But Yuan Fei was still fired up. Fine, Tran Phi, you vile woman, just wait. Consort Yuan Fei will definitely settle this with you next time since this place isn't suitable today. Let's go. Tran Phi angrily looked at Van Mien, thinking, damn it, at first Yuan Fei was aiming at that palace maid, but in the end, I'm the one who got unlucky. Tran Phi hesitated again. Wait, why does this child look so much like the Emperor Impossible? Could it be that this is the child born from His Majesty, and this little palace maid, Watching those two cling to each other, Tranfi gritted her teeth in anger, determined to find out what's going on. As for this little maid, I absolutely won't forgive you. Evening was approaching when Van Yi led Feng Qiu back home. This kid is where I live. Van Mian rubbed the head of her senior maid. We live very simply here. If you follow me, you'll have to put up with hardship. Van Mian opened the door. Feng Qiu put her hands behind her back and said, it's okay, I don't mind. But she was immediately shocked, glancing inside the room, which was a mess. Van Mian noticed Feng Qiu hesitated and asked, hey, are you okay? I'm not good at tidying up rooms. Didn't expect it to be so dusty, ha ha ha. Van Mian thought to herself, ever since this fairy entered the palace, she either slept in Long the palace or chose a good chamber to enjoy herself. She rarely came to the simple quarters of a maid. Feng Qiu awkwardly held a towel and said, how long has it been since you cleaned for it to get this bad? Van Mian wiped her face. Not too long, just a month or two. She bent down and pointed at him. Hey you, why are you so dirty all over? Let big sister bathe you first. Feng Qiu panicked. What? Bath bathing are too embarrassing. No need, I refuse. Van Mian smiled. How could a child not like being clean? No way, you must take a bath. Then she picked Feng Qiu up and placed him in the bathtub. Feng Qiu struggled. Let me go, I don't want to. Van Mian said, don't be so formal. Your sister isn't criticizing you. Then Feng Qiu soaked himself in the warm water. He thought to himself, never thought there'd be a day when I'd be forced by a woman to take off my clothes, truly humiliating. Seeing Van Mian in front of him, he said, men and women should keep their distance. How could a woman like you do this? Van Mian stepped closer and said, isn't it just bathing you? I'm not trying to take your life, and you're still so small, hardly a man yet. Feng Qiu suddenly got a little angry. You're the small one, I'm much bigger. Van Mian forced a smile. All right, you're the biggest. Now kids will be kids. Then she asked, what's your name? Feng Qiu, soaking in the water, replied, my name is Feng Qiu Feng. Hearing this, Van Mian was stunned too. Feng, what a coincidence, the emperor's name also contains Feng. A girl rubbed her chin and sighed. I don't even know where the emperor went after I gave him medicine last night. He left. Wish I had known earlier. Hearing this, Feng Qiu froze. What? You gave medicine to him, to the emperor? Van Mian smiled and said, yes, last night. The emperor was unconscious, so I used a secret family medicine to save him. What's the use of telling a kid like you? You wouldn't understand anyway. Feng Qiu thought, no wonder I didn't feel pain when I woke up this morning. It was this little palace maid who saved me. But why have I become small? Could it be related to her medicine? Suddenly, Van Mian put her hand into the bathtub. Feng Qiu was shocked. What? Van Mian picked Feng Qiu up, saying, let me dry you off. Feng Qiu was stunned. Oh no. He turned his body to cover himself. Wait, let me do it myself. Don't touch me. Van Mian smiled as she dried him. Oh, come on. What's there to be embarrassed about? Didn't your sister just bathe you earlier? Feng Qiu gritted his teeth. I was forced by you then too. Van Mian said, forced? That sounds terrible. I just want what's best for you. No other motives at all. She rubbed her cheek against his head. His body was so soft, smooth skin, touching it felt amazing. Feng Qiu was annoyed. You've had enough. Van Mian said, all right, after we clean up and smell nice, let's go to sleep. Feng Qiu said, what do you mean sleep? Do we have to share a bed? Feng Qiu struggled. I'm not sleeping with you. Van Mian picked Feng Qiu up and put him on the bed, smiling. No way, there's only one bed here. If you don't sleep with me, then who will you sleep with? Van Mian suddenly put her hand on Feng Qiu's shoulder, surprising him. Then she lowered her head and said, besides, I won't scold you if you wet the bed at night. Hearing that, Feng Qiu spat, turning away. Who wets the bed? I don't wet the bed. Van Mian smiled. All right, you don't wet the bed. Your sister was wrong. Then Feng Qiu frowned and lay down. Van Mian lay beside him, pinching his cheek, saying, your angry face is actually very cute. Feng Qiu thought, this woman always jokes with me. Does she think I'm a pet? No, I definitely have to find a way to change back. Feng Qiu pushed Van Mian's hand away and asked cautiously, what medicine did you give the emperor before? Any side effects? Van Mian propped her head with one hand and said to Feng Qiu, of course there are no side effects. It's a wonderful medicine that can prolong life, cleanse the body, rare in the world, better than North Yang. Black ginseng brain and 23 Kim Dui Tha combined. Feng Qiu frowned at this nonsense. Sounded pretty unbelievable. He thought to himself, surely I wasn't really hurt by this little palace maid. This woman really messed me up like this. Van Mian lay back, biting her hand, sighing. But honestly, I still don't know where the emperor went. Feng Qiu asked, are you worried about him? Do you like the emperor? Van Bean sighed. Who likes him? The emperor is self-absorbed and tyrannical, can't even do his job properly. And he teases a little palace maid like me. There are so many beauties in the harem, but he doesn't know how to appreciate them. It really is a waste of heaven. It makes me feel so annoyed. Feng Qiu immediately replied, I didn't expect that in your heart he would be that kind of person. To make you so troubled. Truly, I'm sorry. Hearing Feng Qiu say sorry surprised Van Min. Why are you apologizing? It has nothing to do with you. Van Min touched Feng Qiu's head. But later when you meet the emperor, don't tell him that, okay? Even the emperor needs to save face. Feng Qiu smiled. All right, I definitely won't tell him. He thought to himself, this woman, just wait until I grow up. You're done for. Seeing Feng Qiu's expression, Van Min smiled. Such an adorable kid. It's getting late. Let's sleep. Feng Qiu suddenly spoke. Wait, you. But Van Min hugged him close, making Feng Qiu blush. Oh, you're really spoiling me this time. The night was bright with moonlight as Feng Qiu fell into a deep sleep. Van Min gently patted Feng Qiu to sleep. She thought to herself, she couldn't. All day today I haven't seen Feng Qiu. I basically couldn't sleep. It's already this late. Feng Qiu must have returned to Longte Palace by now. Watching little Feng Qiu sleep with drool dripping, Van Min covered him with a blanket, then stepped off the bed. If that's the case, I will sneak over to Longte Palace to take a look. Leave early, come back early, avoid being noticed by little Feng. Van Min transformed into a canary and flew off. At this moment, someone opened the door and entered while Feng Qiu was sound asleep. 3 masked men in black arrived. The target is here. Move in. Feng Qiu just opened his eyes. It's late at night. What are you still doing? Seeing the 3 men drawing swords and attacking, Feng Qiu was stunned. This is bad. He quickly dodged their sword tips. Who are these people? The masked man rolled his eyes. Kid, you're quick. Feng Qiu got up. He immediately grabbed him. Feng Qiu thought, damn it. Ever since I shrank, I basically have no strength. He then gagged Feng Qiu with a cloth. Where did that woman run off to? Is she okay? Feng Qiu fainted like that. Meanwhile, Van Min transformed into a bird and flew to Longte Palace. How strange. I already came to Longte Palace, but Feng Qiu isn't there. She transformed back into Van Yi and landed. Where could he have gone? Van Bin sat on the bed, imagining possible scenes: rebellion, villain, assassination, being tied up and thrown into a well, or being poisoned and murdered during a drink. She felt like going crazy. Feng Qiu wouldn't be killed by someone, right? If he's gone, then what's the point of having a child? Then doesn't that mean my mission is over? The mystery of the disappearance of the mission's target. Van Min froze. Wait, speaking of the child, I think I forgot something. She panicked and looked back at the bed, not seeing little Feng. Looking at the tear on the bed and blanket, is this a sword slash? Van Min panicked. This is bad. Could something have happened to little Feng? At Tranmongyan, Feng Qiu was brought to the chambermaid of Tranfi Dajua. Following Tranfi's instructions, she brought the child here. Feng Qiu collapsed. Ouch, where is this? The chambermaid said. Isn't it true that Tranfi ordered to bring that little chambermaid here? He whispered to her. When we arrived, we didn't see that little chambermaid. Feng Qiu was stunned, thinking, Tranfi, is this Tranfi's place? Why did she bring me here? Tranfi was standing with her father. Wow, that's definitely the boy. He looks just like the emperor. The old man said, this child looks 6-7 years old already. He can't possibly be the emperor's son. Tranfi was surprised. Why can't he be? His appearance is obvious. Then her father left. Don't ask too much about this. Anyway, the emperor can't possibly have left an heir. Outsiders are not allowed into the inner palace. I'm leaving now. Handle today's matter thoroughly. Tranfi watched him leave and thought, what does my father mean by this? Why is he so certain the emperor won't have any offspring? Then her fierce face, whatever. It's better if it's not the emperor's illegitimate child. That way, if I kill him, there won't be any future trouble. Feng Qiu lay flat on the ground. Damn it. I inhaled quite a bit of sleeping powder earlier. Now my whole body can't move at all. Basically, there's no way to run away. Tranfi stepped forward with a fierce smile. Someone, quickly deal with this child. Feng Qiu was surprised. Tranfi. Then the palace maid brought a rope. Feng Qiu spoke up. Why are you killing me? Tranfi sneered. If you want to blame someone, blame yourself. You look like the emperor. I originally thought you were his illegitimate child. You scared me half to death. She grabbed Feng Qiu's hair. But if you already know the emperor won't leave any children, then that's just perfect. Once you're dead, there won't be any more problems. Feng Qiu clenched her teeth, thinking, how does Tran Fi know the emperor won't leave any children? Could it be that this woman knows my old illness? Tran Fi immediately threw him aside. Quickly kill this child. Clean it up so no one else sees. And that little palace maid too, after dealing with her, leave quickly. Capture and kill both. The subordinate replied, yes. Suddenly, at that moment, Van Mien ran over and stopped them. They were surprised. Is that the little palace maid? Van Mien held out her bassa fan and ordered, release that child. Tran Fi sneered, perfect timing. Meanwhile, Feng Qiu sat on the ground surprised. Did she come to save me? Van Mien loudly said, how could Tran Fi be so cruel to a child? Does he still have any humanity? Tran Fi sneered. Unexpectedly, you gave yourself up to the palace maid. With a fierce face, exactly. Tran Fi said, save the trouble and kill this little palace maid too. She stepped forward, clasped her hands before Van Mien with a sly face and said, isn't she just a clumsy handmaiden? Now watch what I will do. As she finished speaking, Van Mien immediately struck. A beam of light shot out, knocking her far away. Everyone standing around was surprised. Their eyes wide and mouths open in shock. She was knocked far away, screaming, ah. Tran Fi looked panicked. She was thrown against the door. Tran Fi was confused and thought for a moment, then ordered, all of you move quickly. Kill this lowly handmaiden for me. The guards beside him drew their swords and said, yes. Feng Qiu sat on the ground, staring at Van Mien, lowered her head, trembling, thinking, this is bad. So many of them, and they have swords. This woman will definitely suffer. Feng Qiu shouted loudly, get up, palace maid, you go quickly. I don't need you to save Van Mien. Van Mien winked and said, no way, little Feng. You stay put. Sister will take you home later. A masked man with sharp eyes swung his sword and said, heh heh, still want to take this brat home? Saying that, he rushed forward like the wind, saying, you two go reunite in the underworld. Van Mien waved and said, just relying on you guys. Van Mien's fan emitted a sharp light, shattering the man's sword. A loud bang echoed. The man fell to the ground, terrified, shouting, what? The other men outside also panicked and were frightened. The sword shards fell to the ground with a clatter. The man raised his sword and looked scared, thinking, the sword was broken by the fan. Could this person be the Iron Fan Princess? Van Mien waved the fan again and said, face the storm. The other masked men were thrown several meters away, rolling on the ground. Van Mien looked proud and said, yes, my bassa fan is immortal diamond energy. Even if I don't use magic, just with this fan, I can take you down immediately. Feng Qiu looked at Van Mien with a confused expression and said, is this little palace maid really an ordinary person? The imperial harem truly is a place full of hidden tigers and crouching dragons. Tran Fi trembled in fear and stepped back, thinking, no, it can't be. How is this little palace maid so formidable? No, I have to think of a way to save myself. Tran Fi looked at Feng Qiu, and a dark thought came to mind, thinking, got it. He bent down, picked up a broken sword piece, and took Feng Qiu as a hostage, threatening, lowly handmaiden, don't come over here. Otherwise, I will kill this child. Van Mien saw this and thought it was bad. She looked angrily at Tran Fi and said, Tran Fi, I didn't expect you to take a child hostage. You truly are unworthy of being human. Tran Fi grabbed the broken sword piece and struck Feng Qiu's cheek, angrily shouting, shut up. If you want this child's life, immediately kill yourself in front of me. As Tran Fi finished speaking, he slashed the broken sword across Feng Qiu's cheek, and a stream of blood flowed down. Feng Qiu painfully endured and cried out, Tran Fi said again, otherwise I will kill it right now. Van Mien fearfully panicked and said, wait, don't act rashly. Van Mien then sat down, obeying Tran Fi's threat, saying, I can commit suicide, don't harm me. She whispered, thinking, at this point I have no choice but to risk exposure and use immortal magic. Tran Fi smiled slyly, thinking, this little servant really cares about that child. I am absolutely right. Once this little servant dies, I will kill that child. Then no one will know what I have done. Van Mien obeyed and picked up the broken sword fragments. Feng Qiu saw Van Mien obeying Tran Fi for her sake and thought, this woman wants to commit suicide for me. I will not allow it. Feng Qiu bit Tran Fi's hand hard. Tran Fi screamed in pain when bitten by Feng Qiu. Ah! She then pushed Feng Qiu away angrily, saying, you little bastard, are you looking for death? Feng Qiu was pushed far away, thinking, I've been pushed away already. Van Mien saw Feng Qiu pushed like that and rushed over in panic saying, "Little Feng." Feng Q fell into the big lake. Van Min hurried over anxiously saying, "No." Feng Q fell into the lake vaguely thinking, "So I fell into the water after all. That's good, at least that woman won't have to die for me." Van Min quickly ran over and dived into the lake. I'm swimming down to save Feng Q." Feng Q's blurry eyes saw Van Min and was stunned thinking he was surprised to see Van Min dive in to save her. Thinking this woman is so foolish to jump in after her. Van Min quickly swam down and grabbed Feng Q's hand caught her. Feng Q looked surprised. Van Min tightly hugged Feng Q to her body. Feng Q looked at Van Min thinking, this woman. Van Min hugged Feng Q and swam up. Feng Q's face was thoughtful. She was willing to jump into the water to save me. Van Min silently thought, no, a canary falling into water is worse than a chicken. I'm not good at swimming, and I'm carrying little Feng. I should secretly use immortal magic to save little Feng to shore first and then talk. Van Min began casting glowing immortal magic thinking, little Feng probably won't notice. She directed the magic toward Feng Q's body, but the magic was repelled. Van Min looked confused. What is this? The magic is bouncing back at me. Van Min's face showed surprise, thinking, why does little Feng have a jade amulet that can repel magic like this? A huge explosion happened in the damp lake. Van Min gradually was submerged by water, her eyes growing dim, thinking, not good, I'm about to pass out. I have to push little Feng out of the lake. Van Min tried her best to lift Feng Q high and then pushed her strongly to the surface. Feng Q was pushed up by Van Min, her whole body surfaced near the water. Van Min's body gradually sank into the dark lake. Feng Q's blurry eyes thought, what's happening? Feng Q was pushed up and turned to look at Van Min with worried eyes thinking, wait, why did this woman suddenly... Van Min fainted into a coma. Feng Q turned back and swam hard down into the lake thinking, no, I have to save her. Feng Q grabbed Van Min's hand and tried to pull her up. Seeing Van Min unconscious, she said, hey, little palace maid, wake up. Feng Q tried to pull Van Min but couldn't. Too weak now in a child's body, basically unable to pull this woman. Feng Q held her breath, barely able to hold on, struggling for air, feeling uncomfortable, her whole body trembling, tears welling up, thinking, why did I shrink down? Could it be that I'm powerless to help? Blinking, fearing this woman might die, suddenly rays of light emitted around Feng Q, and suddenly her whole body transformed back into an adult. Feng Q clenched her fist, thinking, how could this be? This woman got into trouble trying to save me, and my whole body is glowing. Feng Q's eyes sharpened, filled with determination, thinking, I absolutely will not allow her to die. Feng Q hugged Van Min's waist tightly, holding her to her chest, thinking, if she wants to live, then we live together. If she wants to die, then we die together. Feng Q brought her face close to Van Min's, saying her life belongs to me. Feng Q placed a breath-transferring kiss on Van Min's lips. After a moment, Feng Q carried Van Min up to shore. Feng Q thought it was unexpected that at this critical moment, she could transform back. It must be because of the urgency to save this woman that I could return to my adult form. Hey, miss, wake up! You've been in the water so long, I hope nothing bad happened. Van Min immediately regained consciousness. Didn't this fairy fall into the water? That's right, it seems a man pulled me out. Then my lips seemed to be covered by something warm. Something warm. No. Could it be that this fairy was kissed in the water? Raising her hand to her lips, her face flushed, she looked at Feng Q and said, you're awake, with a tender gaze at Van Min. She saw Feng Q and immediately thought it was him. Van Min looked surprised when she saw Feng Q and said, why are you here? Are you the one who saved me? Feng Q shyly raised his hand and said, yes, that's right. I was bored with nothing to do, so I went swimming for a bit. I happened to see you sinking under the water and saved you. Van Min hurriedly grabbed Feng Q's sleeve, worried, and asked, did you see little Feng, a small, very cute child? She and I fell into the water together. Hearing this, Feng Q blushed and raised a hand to his cheek. Thinking that this woman found him cute, he said, I did see her. I sent someone to take her to rest first. Van Min sighed with relief and said, that's good then. She raised her hand to her chin, looking at Feng Q thoughtfully. But how come little Feng has a jade pendant, just like Feng Q's? It caused me to be betrayed, leading to unconsciousness. Could it be that this type of jade pendant is a common wholesale item? Van Min immediately thought of the old merchant selling jade pendants. The old merchant said he was selling protective jade pendants at 3 coins each. 1 coin 3 for free. If you don't buy, you lose. It's not a scam. Suddenly a voice rang out, "Search for me." Van Mien heard it and thought it might be Tran Phi's voice. Tran Phi angrily said from the other side, "Those two have jumped into the lake and fled. Quickly search for them on my behalf." The guards around replied, "Yes," Tran Phi shouted. "The lake is only this big. Those two definitely can't escape. Remember, do not let them live." A servant approached Tran Phi and said, "Don't worry." Tran Phi said, "Your Highness, maybe they already drowned." The servant sitting below said, "Not wrong. Even if they survived, they would be barely breathing. Killing them is as easy as carrying a table." Just after saying that, a stone suddenly flew and hit the servant's face. Thud, the servant fell rolling to the ground, fainting and moaning, "Ah!" Tran Phi was shocked and angry, saying, "Who dares to be so bold? How dare they sneak attack my people?" Van Mien flew over with a thump, hands on her hips, holding a stone, saying, "I am your great aunt." Tran Phi gritted his teeth in anger. "What? This little palace maid isn't dead yet." Tran Phi immediately said, "You all charge forward and kill her for me." Van Mien angrily rolled up her sleeves, "Still playing dirty tricks to eliminate me. Watch me teach you a lesson." Feng Qiu stepped forward and touched Van Mien's shoulder. She turned around, surprised. Feng Qiu?" Feng Qiu said, "Let me handle this." Tran Phi and the other servants fearfully said, "Your Majesty, we pay respect to the Emperor." Feng Qiu angrily said, "Tran Phi, you are really bold. How dare you blatantly kill people in my harem? Do you not respect me?" Tran Phi was frightened and knelt down, stammering, No, it's not like that. This humble servant didn't mean to. It was this palace maid who was malicious and attacked me first." Feng Qiu looked at Tran Phi and said, "Oh, really?" Tran Phi fearfully replied, "Yes, Your Majesty. There are also other concubines in my quarters who are unconscious. They don't know what happened. Don't let this little palace maid deceive you." Feng Qiu said, "No one understands this matter better than I do." Feng Qiu angrily grabbed Tran Phi by the neck and lifted her up, saying, "Tran Phi, if you dare lay a hand on her, you're asking for death." Tran Phi and the servants all trembled in fear. Tran Phi fearfully said, "It hurts, Your Majesty. She's just a lowly little palace maid." Feng Qiu angrily threw Tran Phi down and said, "Shut up." Tran Phi cried out in pain, "Ah!" Feng Qiu then pulled Van Mien close and declared, "This woman is a little palace maid today. Tomorrow I may crown her empress and make her the mistress of the harem." Tran Phi was surprised hearing Feng Qiu say this and exclaimed, "What?" Van Mien looked confused hearing Feng Qiu and silently thought, Empress, what's going on?" Tran Phi knelt down begging, saying, "The Emperor, this palace maid comes from a humble background, with no power, no status, no talent, no strength. How could she be worthy of the position of Empress?" Feng Qiu said, "Whether she is or not has nothing to do with you, because from now on it's no longer your concern." Feng Qiu then raised her hand and said, "Guards." 3 guards appeared behind and called out, "Your Majesty." Van Mien turned around surprised to see this. Feng Qiu looked at Tran Phi and said, "Beat Tran Phi 50 times, then push her into the cold palace. Without my order, she must not be released." Tran Phi trembled with fear, hearing Feng Qiu's words. Thinking something, the 3 guards replied, "Yes, obey." 1 guard stepped forward and grabbed Tran Phi's hand. Trembling with fear, Tran Phi shouted, begging, "Your Majesty, I only killed a lowly palace maid. How could you punish me so harshly?" Feng Qiu's face turned fierce as she looked at Tran Phi and said, "Oh, harsh. You should be grateful you're still alive. Take her away." 2 guards grabbed Tran Phi's hands and dragged her across the ground. Tran Phi trembled all over, crying and screaming, "Wah, wah, wah. Your Majesty, your servant was wrong. Please spare me." Feng Qiu instructed, "Watch Tran Phi carefully below, but if she shows any unusual behavior, report to me immediately." The guard knelt and replied, "Yes." Feng Qiu turned her head, thinking to herself, if Tran Phi hadn't found out about my old illness, I absolutely wouldn't have spared her. At Long Tea Palace, Feng Qiu spoke to Van Mien. "I have punished Tran Phi on your behalf. You can rest assured. She won't be able to harm you anymore." Van Mien raised her hand to her chin and said, "How could she harm me? But still, thank you, Your Majesty." Van Mien's face flushed red, embarrassed. Suddenly, Feng Qiu's face darkened when she heard Van Mien speak. She thought silently. "Your Majesty, Feng Qiu," he recalled the moments when he was transformed into a child. When Van Mien bathed him, when Van Mien comforted and lulled him to sleep, when she fearlessly jumped into the pond to save him. Feng Qiu thought to herself, if I return to my original form, will I no longer hear the little palace maid affectionately call me Little Feng? Van Mien smiled and said, turning to walk away, "Well then, Your Majesty, I'll go first." Feng Qiu stood behind her, grabbed Van Mien's wrist and said, "Wait." She looked surprised and turned around saying, huh. Feng Qiu held Van Meen's hand and said, little palace maid, what I said to Tran Phi by the lake before wasn't a joke. Van Meen laughed and said, of course your majesty is the true dragon son of heaven. When you say something, you must do it. How could it be a joke? She suddenly whispered, wait, your majesty said so many things. Which one are you talking about exactly? She suddenly remembered and scratched her head, thinking, it can't be that one, right? Feng Qiu stepped close to Van Meen and whispered into her ear, today you are a little palace maid. Tomorrow I can make you empress, the mistress of the harem. Van Meen was stunned by Feng Qiu's words, like being struck by lightning. She thought to herself, it really is that. She panicked, blushed deeply, stepped back and stammered, you're joking, right? Feng Qiu stepped closer and said, I am the true dragon son of heaven. When I say something, I must do it. How could it be a joke? If you want tomorrow that I can issue the sacred edict to summon you. As Feng Qiu finished speaking, Van Meen covered her mouth with her hand. She said, no, I don't want it, and you don't want it either. Feng Qiu took her hand and said, that's true. Becoming empress, in an instant you might not be able to adjust. So choose one first noble consort, imperial concubine, noble lady, or tie-up do. She panicked and quickly said, why? Is that okay? Van Meen looked surprised, pointed to herself and said, your majesty, aren't all the consorts in your harem beautiful and virtuous? Am I worthy of that position? No, I am not worthy. Being a palace maid is already enough for me. Feng Qiu lowered her voice and said, if a person has no dreams, how are they any different from a salted fish? Besides, if I say you're worthy, then you are worthy. Van Meen smiled awkwardly and waved her hand, saying, ha ha ha, your majesty, you're really witty. She then pointed at Feng Qiu to quickly change the subject and said, oh dear, your majesty must be very tired from saving me today. Please take care of your health and rest early. After saying that, she hurried away. She ran while waving goodbye and said, well, then I'll go first. Don't bother anyone anymore. Feng Qiu froze, then watched her leave. Said, this little palace maid isn't greedy for fame or fortune, which makes me like her even more. Anyway, in my harem, she won't escape. Van Meen entered the room holding her flushed face, saying, what's wrong with the emperor? He really wants to confer the title of consort on me. He scared me to death. But why did I get so tense and panicked after hearing that? Van Meen inside. Van Nie's body thought, wait, my current form is Van Nie's. If the emperor really has feelings for this form of mine, then when Van Nie returns, wouldn't my mission be logically accomplished? Suddenly, Tram Juan, in the form of a mandarin duck, flew over, clucking, little Mian, your heavenly soldier is back. Van Meen immediately turned around happily. Tram Xuan then looked around attentively to see if anyone was nearby. She transformed into a yellow canary and flew to perch on a branch, saying, why did you take so long to come back? Did you find that medical book? Can it cure Feng Qiu's old illness? Tram Xuan the mandarin duck with a tearful face said, why do you keep mentioning Feng Qiu's name, little Mian? Your heavenly soldier just got back, and you don't even care about me anymore. Hearing this, Van Meen the canary pinched Tram Xuan's face and said, are you even on the same level as my mission target? Speak properly like a bird. The mandarin duck painfully replied, all right, I won't hold it against you this time. I did make some progress. The emperor's old illness can be cured. But the canary quickly asked, but what? The mandarin duck said, but to be sure, I have to directly check the emperor's current physical condition first. The canary angrily said, are you kidding me? He's the emperor, the supreme ruler, protected by elite guards hidden all around with strict security, and he's immune to immortal arts. How can you check him directly? The mandarin duck pinched the canary and said, then I'll have to rely on you. Little Mian, you're smarter than others, I believe you. You'll definitely come up with a good idea. The mandarin duck then flew off to chat with other birds elsewhere. The canary clucked irritably. This guy just showed up and already gave me a tough problem. She thought, well, Feng Qiu's old illness is important. After I take care of Feng Qiu, I definitely have to roast this parrot. The next day, the sky was clear. Van Meen stood in front of the imperial palace deep in thought. I've thought all night and finally used my smart brain to figure out how to arrange for Tram Xuan to meet Feng Qiu. Hopefully everything goes smoothly today. 2 guards angrily blocked the gate, saying, stop. Long Tea Palace is His Majesty's residence. Outsiders are not allowed in. If you don't leave now, go away. Van Meen clasped her hands and pleaded, please report to His Majesty. Tell him Van Yi requests an audience. The guard lowered his blade and said, Van Yi can wait here. Van Min crossed her arms, thinking, being human is really troublesome. When I turned into a sparrow, I could just enter Long Tay Palace whenever I wanted, right? The guard reported, His Majesty has agreed you may enter. The guard thought to himself, His Majesty is usually so cold, even the consorts are very few. Yet he agreed to see this little palace maid who looked so ordinary. His Majesty agreed to meet her again. Van Min happily said, All right, thank you, guard captain. She ran in quickly like a ghost being chased. The guard watched confused. She stood peeking by the door and softly said, Your Majesty, I'm coming in. Feng Qiu opened the door wide. Van Min grabbed the door but stumbled when Feng Qiu opened it, exclaiming, Yes! She fell into Feng Qiu's arms, her head hitting his chest as she cried out, My lord! Feng Qiu held Van Min gently, looking at her softly, and said, It's only been one night without seeing me, and you're already eager to meet me. Feng Qiu thought to himself, She even jumped into my arms. Van Min quickly stepped away, crossed her arms, and shyly said, My lord, how could that be? I didn't mean to. Sweat dripped down Van Min's face as she glanced at Feng Qiu, thinking, No, I almost forgot the real reason I came here. She stepped closer, took Feng Qiu's hand, and coquettishly said, That's right, I miss you very much.